Shakur Stevenson, we know him and Jay Prince, they're really tight. I believe Jay Prince has some business dealings with Shakur, his management or something like that, in his boxing career. And Shakur Stevenson, for the most part, he doesn't really get in a lot of trouble outside the ring. He got into a altercation at a gas station one time, and other than that, man, I haven't heard anything really bad about Shakur Stevenson outside the ring besides, him going back and forth on social media with some boxers. That's about it. But uh, as everybody already know, takeoff from the group Migos, he was just murdered a few days ago, and at there was a private party for Jay Prince's son, and Shakur Stevenson, he's cool with Jay Prince's son, and they roll together sometimes. So Shakur just happened to be there when uh, I guess after the dice game, altercation must have ensued. Shakur was front and center, right where Takeoff was, and all the other people standing around. When Quavo got into it with the guy, and then fish started flying, and then bullets started flying. And Shakur was there, man. And when I found out Shakur was there, I was like, damn, thank goodness Shakur's good, man. And here's the thing. Rest in peace, Takeoff. He was a smooth brother. He was laid back. He had nothing to do with nothing. And it's always like that. It's always the coolest dudes that fuck around and get murdered, bro. It's always like that, man. I'm pretty sure a lot of us know some cats growing up that was real cool, and then they ended up getting caught up in some shit that they didn't really deserve. But nonetheless, this is life, man. Shit happens, and Shakur, man, shit can happen in the split second, bro. Shakur being from Newark, I haven't heard too much. I don't know if Shakur really was really in the streets like that. I doubt he was. A lot of these dudes, man, they young. They really had no time to be in the streets like that. They was boxing most of their life, man. They had to stay. They were staying busy. There were some boxers that really was in the streets like that, but for the most part, I don't think that's Shakur. The company that Shakur is keeping is deadly, and the problem is that Shakur, he's in that stage where he got to roll with the tough dudes or the dudes that's perceived to be tough, and he want to be part of the crowd, and that could have easily got him killed. I've seen it with my own eyes, and it ain't pretty, bro. And the thing is, we would have been looking at a whole another headline, and thankfully, he didn't get hit with nothing, because that would have been fucked up for boxing. Not even just boxing, his family first. Such a good talent. Before boxing, he's somebody's son. He's somebody's father. He got a young baby. Got a woman at home, man. Man, it ain't, listen. I be telling dudes about these dice games. I rolled dice a handful of times in my life. What I'm saying? And it was always my direct circle of dudes that I knew. Or it was like maybe a few of us. But if it was a dice game where it was like 20, 30 dudes, and a lot of them dudes I ain't know, I ain't fucking doing it, bro. I'm not rolling. And even sometimes I don't even hang around that shit. I just leave. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times I'm glad I left, because always was something happened right after I left. So it's like, you gotta listen to that little voice in your head sometimes. Some dudes have it, some people don't. And sometimes, unfortunately, you don't never really get to hear that voice till it's too late. You know what I'm saying? And Shakur was blessed. He's blessed with the skill of boxing. He's blessed with a family. I think personally, man, he need to remove himself from all them cats, bro. Move different. It might be hard because Jay Prince got a hand in his career in a sense. So, what I'm saying, he gonna have to fall back on some other shit, like be a man and stud up. Like, listen, man, I can't be running around town with niggas like that. I got a family. I want to stay home with my family, man. That's really what it is. Cause ain't really nothing out here, man. Hanging out with dudes out here, it's just gonna bring problems, bro. That's why, for the most part, my whole life, I've been kind of like a loner, man. I don't really need to hang with motherfuckers like that. Cause what I found is every time, the more you're around people, the more shit, the more stuff happen, the more trouble you get into, So I always was like, yeah, let me hang by myself, bro. I'm good. I'm straight. You know, if you want to, roll dice and play those kind of games, go to the casino, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, leave that street shit alone. That shit ain't the move, though. It never was, but motherfuckers be trying too hard to be real, and you ain't got no point to prove to nobody, bro. Straight up, man. And especially if you was in the streets and you came out the streets, man. You don't need to go back to the streets or the street type of shit. Leave that shit alone. Move different with dudes in your own tax bracket, and then you'll be alright most of the time. Shit can still happen to you, man, but the less shit you put yourself at risk in, the likelihood of something happening is lower. You know what I'm saying? That's all it's about, really. And as far as Shakur goes, that was a wake up call for him. And then now he gonna be a little fucked up because he see somebody get their head busted, shit like that. That shit ain't nothing. I doubt he ever saw anything like that. So now it's gonna probably traumatize him a little bit. Okay, yeah, this is real life. He from Newark, but he probably ain't seen nothing like that being from Newark. And it took for him to see it somewhere else, not in his own hood, for it to have like a wake up call. Hopefully it was a wake up call for him, you know what I'm saying? But I'm glad the brother is good. Rest up to takeoff. Shakur, you gotta remove yourself from that circle, fam. That's just what it is. However you gotta do it, man. That was an omen, bro. That was a wake up shot. No pun intended. And hopefully he be alright, man. He learned from this. This your boy, Rebel Life Boxing. I'll catch y'all later, and I'm out.